Hello everybody, today I'm excited to show you how great it can be to mix two baked treats together with this awesome brookie recipe. You won't want to miss it. Ready? Let's get started. To make it easier, I divided the ingredients into two separate lists. You'll see them both right here. The first is for the brownie layer, and the next is for the cookie layer. This is the same order that the recipe follows. Step 1. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and prepare a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. You can either use parchment paper or do what I did and use cooking oil. Now it's time to begin with the brownie layer. To start, grab the butter and melt it in the microwave. Make sure to use a bowl or a glass that's microwave safe. I heated it for 30 seconds, took it out, stirred it, then heated for another 30 seconds. Then it was finally melted. Now let's start some fun mixing. Grab a large bowl and pour in the melted butter and the granulated sugar. Then use a stand mixer like I did or an electric mixer to combine. It takes around 2 to 3 minutes usually to mix properly. When it's properly mixed, you're ready for the next step. This step uses the eggs, the vanilla extract, and the salt. Start by slowly mixing in the eggs one at a time. Make sure each egg is fully incorporated before moving on. You can also use a whisk for this part, if it's your preference. After the eggs are fully incorporated, add in the vanilla extract. Then it's time to pour in the 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then make sure the texture is consistent and everything is mixed in. It's looking great. Now we're ready for the fun ingredients. Grab your flour, cocoa powder, and chocolate chips. First, add in the flour and then the cocoa powder and mix both until they're well combined. When the cocoa powder is added in, it starts to really look like brownie batter. At this point, you want to make sure to mix it really well. Make sure the batter has a smooth consistency without any lumps. Then it's finally time to add in the chocolate chips. I added them in with my stand mixer on the lowest setting, but you can also play it safe and add it in using a spoon or fold it in using a spatula. No matter which method you choose, just make sure to take your time and do it right. Once it's mixed, the brownie batter is ready to be added to the baking pan. I recommend using a spatula or a large spoon like this one. It's great to have extra hands with this step. My kids were asleep, but luckily my wife was still awake. It'll also be much easier for you because you won't have to be filming. When all the brownie batter is added to the baking pan, you can smooth it out so that it's all level. This will help ensure that it bakes evenly. And this is how it should look. Now that the brownie layer is done, it's time for some cookie fun. Don't worry, the cookie dough layer is also very easy. Set your brownie pan aside for later and grab a large mixing bowl. Then grab your cookie dough ingredients. Start with your softened butter, light brown sugar, and granulated sugar. First, add the 1.5 stick of softened butter to your large mixing bowl. Then add in your granulated sugar and your light brown sugar. When they're all added, it's time to cream them together for about 2 minutes. When they're creamed together properly, the mixture should be light and fluffy. And now we're ready for the next step. For the next ingredients, add your egg and your vanilla extract. First up, it's time to mix in the egg. Make sure it's fully incorporated before adding in the vanilla extract. Then continue mixing for another 1 to 2 minutes. Now it's time for the dry ingredients. Grab a separate medium bowl along with your flour, baking soda, and salt. First up, add in the flour. Then carefully add in the baking soda and the salt. Finally, it's time to combine by whisking it all together. If you don't have a whisk, you can also use a spoon. I've just found that the whisk does the job a little bit quicker. And now the dry mixture is ready. Next, slowly and carefully add in the dry mixture to the wet mixture. Make sure to take your time because it's really easy to get a little bit overzealous and spill. Trust me, I've been there. Continually mix for another 2 to 3 minutes. When it's all mixed in properly and the texture is consistent, it's once again time for the fun part. Chocolate chips. Add them in carefully, just like we did with the brownies. Remember, take your time and do it right. When the chocolate chips are all mixed in, the cookie dough is ready and it should look like this. Alright cookie dough, it's time for you to meet your friend, the brownie. I'm sure you two are going to have a lot of fun together. Drop the cookie dough in rounded tablespoonfuls over the brownie mixture. You can use a cookie dough scoop like we did, or a regular spoon in your hands. We found the best way is to leave a little gap between each ball of dough. This is another area where you want to take your time. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. This video will work great as a guide to see how far apart to space them. My wife did this part by herself and she did a great job. I know I only would have messed it up. But I really did enjoy sitting back and watching. And this is how it looked after we added in all of the dough. We thought the contrasting colors already made it look neat. And it also smelled amazing. Once you reach this point, the brownie batter and cookie dough is ready to be baked. Place your baking pan in the oven and bake at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. While the brookies are baking, it's time for our quick goose fact. Did you know that geese make their nests cup-shaped? They use dry grass and other plants and line it with feathers. Sure sounds like a comfortable bed to me. And now, back to the chocolate chip brookies. When a toothpick comes out clean and the cookie dough is golden brown, it's ready to be removed from the oven. Make sure to be really careful and use oven mitts. When the brookies have cooled for around 10 minutes, they're ready to be cut into equal squares. Since they were still warm, I was able to cut them with a butter knife. They looked so great and we were very excited to try them out. We were very happy with how these brookies turned out. It did take longer than many of our other recipes because it's essentially making 2 recipes in one. But that is also what takes these to another level. If you like brownies and cookies, having them both at the same time is awesome. And we could taste all of the chocolate chips throughout. We were big fans and so were all 4 of the kids. And as a final bonus, they look really cool. Now that we've enjoyed these brookies, let's see a baking battle. Our most popular video is currently our Great Baking Competition, where I face off against artificial intelligence. You've got to see it. See you there.